All right. Hello, guys, gals, and non binary pals, and welcome to my stream today. It is a low key kind of a Sunday around here, as evidenced by, casual hoodie, all this stuff going on. So, we're just going to go and play some Vampire Survivors today. I am drinking Timir chai from St. Pete by Night. My friend Bomb Clancy actually sent me a bag of this originally to get me started on it because she knows how much I like chai. And, well, I then got a whole tin for myself because I kind of needed it. So we're just going to drink some tea and beat up on monsters today. That sounds like fun. All right, let's head on over there. Let me see. So one of the things that I want to do on these Survivors Sunday streams is try to fill in these little check marks to show that I have actually survived the entirety of a place. So, because I think that's fun. I really like Shimunita. She's a really cool character. And I think I want to do some more with her. So I'm going to take her over to the library and see what we can do with that. Let me see. What kind of music do we want? Because we're going to be listening to this for the next half hour or so, hopefully. Ooh. Okay, that's got a good vibe to it. Sure. Let me see. Do we have anything that works on this particular weapon? Let's find out. Hello, cat. I see you out of the corner of my eye. You're gonna try to make your way over here in your supposedly sneaky way, aren't you, buddy? Yep. Uh-huh. I see you. Every time, anytime that I sit down to work on something, Boyo here has to try and hang out. Well, so it goes. Sure. Let's do this one. I don't have any of those weapons, but stabby. All right. What do we want to try to work on today? Sure. Let's do some burbs. Burbs are fun. Oh, and then of course I get Fear del Tufelo? I think that's how you pronounce that. I have no idea. Oops, shoot. That was not what I meant to do. Oh, well. That's fine. No rules, only vibes. I remember the first time. Oh, yes. Cat. Give me the cats. I remember the first time that I came into the library. I had been in the forest a bunch because the forest is the first level that you start on. And I freaked out when I realized that it was just one long corridor in the library. And so I didn't have the freedom of movement that I do in the forest. And that was wild. I think I spent the whole time just going, oh no, 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 and just like one unbroken scream. Oh goody, bird. Cool, I'm gonna try to evolve the birds together because they're one of the weapons that you evolve as a pair with a buff. Let's make it a bit easier to pick up my experience. Sherlock, do you need to do that? Okay, good job, buddy. He was thinking that he needed to, curl up right next to my wonderful microphone and give himself a thorough leg lifty cleaning. And it's like, buddy, unnecessary. Hope everyone's Sunday is going well. Mine is, at least so far, pretty quiet. Let me see, I'm going to banish. Just make the fire wand go away. We'll never see it again in this run. I missed the clock lancet earlier, and I hear the clock lancet with the glass spear is one of the coolest combinations and a good way to possibly avoid getting mauled to death by the Reaper at the end. So we'll see if that's true. Hey, here comes Ascension Broccoli. So 2 minutes. 2 minutes in is when they show up, in case anyone was curious. There's still a lot about this game that I'm learning for all that I've put like 120 hours into it so far. Hey, there's a clock lancet. Cool. See how many things we can freeze up while doing this. Yeah, look at that. So mixing the clock lancet with the glass fandango is what it's officially called. Not the glass spear, although I think that's a cooler name. Glass fandango. I mean, I guess it's not a cooler name, but it is a more accurate one. Like, come on. When I hear fandango, I think of like the ticket acquisition web. Does anyone else remember that? The ticket acquisition website? Yeah, I barely have any buffs right now. Go ahead and pull that. Gonna try to make Survivor Sunday more of a thing. A friend of mine and I are talking about playing Dead by Daylight on Sundays and doing Survivors. So we'll see how that works out. But for right now, it's Vampire Survivors, and that's what we're going with, because I know how to play this game. I don't know how to play Dead by Daylight. So, eventually I'm sure I'll get into that game, and then everyone will be like, Vanna, you don't know how to play games. And I'll say, yes, what was your first clue? I truly have not been a gamer for very long. So things that gamers my age find easy, I don't. So we just sort of roll with what we got, because it's fun. And that's the point of it here. No rules, only vibes. Well, there's some rules, but the rules are generally, you know, don't be a dick. Wheaton's first law. I really don't know what the, like, clay-looking things are. Because the others... Because, like, we got mummies, right? Or, like... Well, mummies are maybe some kind of, like... ape-man, monster man? Unsure. Still figuring that out. But I am not at all sure what these... They look very clay-like, if that makes sense. I need to... not have the cursor on the screen. Sorry about that. Yeah, for all that I've been doing, you know, D&D and Call of Cthulhu live... keep that for now. For all that I've been doing D&D and Call of Cthulhu and all that live streaming for, you know, 5.5 years now with Quest and Chaos, I don't usually do the technical side of things. So I don't, and, you know, live streaming TTRPGs is very different from live streaming video games. So it's just a whole other skill set, and y'all get to watch me learn it in real time. So hope that's enjoyable for folks. If not, well, you know, we're here for fun. I'm not here to show off what a good gamer I am, because I ain't. I'm here to show off games that I like. So, you know, eventually I'll be playing through Persona 5 Royal. I finished my main run, and now I'm waiting to start my... I finished my main run, and I'm waiting to start my New Game Plus until I have the adapter that I want to plug it into my computer to use it as a source. just made this tea. It is still quite hot. All right. But yeah, I'm still figuring out things like scheduling. You know, do I do themes on days? Like, I'm testing out this Survivor's Sunday thing. I like being able to stream during the day because I'm a freelancer. This upcoming week, I'm going to be on gigs 3 days out of the work week, so a little bit less of the streaming is going to happen. So, you know, that's just kind of the way it goes. But being able to stream during the day, because I'm on Pacific time, it does make it, I think, a little bit easier for my East Coast friends and my international friends to come and hang out, because, you know, as we realized on Roll for Weird the other day. Oops. Do I want this? No, I know I do not. Go away, Jester Man. When it's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon for me, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning in England, which is so funny to me. Time zones are weird. It was something that I had to think about a lot when I was visiting my sister in Europe when she was there, and yeah, it was nuts trying to remember, oh yeah, these are the times that I can actually like work on things with people in the States, be up at like 7 in the morning my time to catch them in the evening their time. Time zones are wacky. I still really love this Glass Fandango. Silly name. Silly name. Meow, meow, meow. I think at least one of the designers must have a cat, or probably more than one, because if you look really carefully, sometimes when the cats come back to you with whatever they have, you take a little bit of damage, because cats and their claws, little scamps. I think on my, well, because I can't banish as many weapons as I need to for the trophy. I don't have that many banishes. But I don't remember how to get more banishes, so, you know. I'll have to look and see, like, what kind of trophies, achievements, whatnot I want to try to do. It's DM. Kitties. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Hello, kitty. Did you hear the meowing through my headphones and want to come and hang out? I know y'all can't see him, but Sherlock is sitting next to me with his head occasionally bumping against my arm, which is not conducive for streaming, sir. But, you know. I have leveled up the birds, evolved the birds before, but I don't remember what the buff is to get them leveled, evolved, whatever. So I'm waiting to see if it turns up in my drops, which is why I have, you know, 3 buff spaces still open. These are the minutes that I like. Oh. Where I am just surrounded by enemies. It is a target-rich environment. Because I can do more fun things then. And just rake in the XP. It's a little challenging because I don't have anything that is technically a, like the garlic around me. Where I'm able to just like do constant damage to anything that comes near me, so it's more of like the active things. But the active things are also pretty active, so I'm not super worried about that. I'll go ahead and get the bracer. Get more projectiles. I like being able to have more projectiles. Sherlock, I swear to God. I am talking to the bright box, and I'm not talking to him or actually paying him any attention. So of course, he needs to come over and get my attention by putting his cute little soft chin on my arm. A very scritchable chin, that chin. Yeah, this is what happens when I don't have anyone to really talk to. I just talk nonsense for however long I choose to. You're welcome. Because I find it amusing. Hi, Danny. Yeah, dogs are also very good at doing the loud pout when you're not paying them any attention. Ooh! So when you get the special fireworks, that means that you get 5 things upgraded all at once, and it's fantastic. Okay, Sherlock, you cannot bump your head against the microphone. No. Shoo. There we go. What projects are you working on, Danny? Anything fun today, or is it more thinky stuff? Which I guess is also fun, but in a different way. Meow, meow. Oh, right. The bracer doesn't do more projectiles, it just does them faster, which also works. I need to move the chat box over to the different side of my screen because right now it is out of my peripheral vision, so it's a little bit harder for me to see when people are talking, which is not helpful. Yeah. Sounds like fun. We do love a good sweater work, don't we? I was watching Emma in the Moment earlier today, talking about the controversy around knitting.com and venture bros coming into a space without knowing anything about the space, and got me in the mood to do some more knitting. I might do that later today. We're doing some recording, some podcast recording this evening, but I might, like, I don't know, watch a movie or something. Watch a movie. Me? Ever? Watch a movie and actually like sit and knit for a while, 'cause it's been a while. Most of what I do is super like hands busy, so I don't have a lot of extra time except when I'm like playing D&D, especially when it's not my turn in combat. Oh my gosh. Yeah, right? Watching Emma just absolutely lose their mind over the Venture Bros was very cathartic, because it was like, yeah, this is something that Silicon Valley and people of that ilk like to do, where it's like, yeah, I don't know anything about this particular area, but I'm not going to listen to, you know, the geriatric, technophobic Luddite people who've been doing this for decades and actually have experience in this area. No. I'm gonna come in here with all of the condensation of, God give me the self-confidence of a mediocre white man. And yeah, you know, they've started lots of successful businesses, but I would bet anything that they actually did, I don't know, market research in the areas that they were going into. which they didn't bother to do with knitting. Because, it's a girly thing. Never mind all of the dudes that we know and non-binary people that we know who do knitting. No, it's a girl thing. So, yeah. Tech bros, stay out of the corners that you don't know anything about, especially when it's something that has hundreds of years of tradition and experience behind it. You will get stomped. And I can only hope that the new knitters that are their target audience are able to find the good community that they need in order to develop as actual knitters. Because I mean, I learned how to do basic knitting from someone in my church when I was a kid, but I learned how to actually like make things from my community of knitters who were very patient and lovely, including of course Danny and knitting Daddy Greg and a couple of other people, where it was like I knew at any time I could go in there and be like, yo, explain this, I don't understand. It also helped that I started with patterns that the people I was in the chat with had actually written, so I could be like, Greg, I don't understand your shorthand. What are you trying to say here? Which, you know, I'm learning how to read patterns. I still only stick with the written out portions and not, I can still barely read like a chart. I can kind of read a chart because that's what I have to use for the Celestial one. That's a really good point. A lot of newbies start because they know people, and the people that they know are like, here, let's go to the local yarn shop. Yay! I leveled up the bird. I have rainbow bird. Give me the gay bird. So, but yeah, I'm still a very new knitter myself, but like my desire is to know more from the people who know stuff. I don't see why that's controversial. I mean, it's not. Okay, good. Because charts, I don't know why charts feel weird to me. I think it's because at least the ones that I'm looking at are backwards to the way that I understand things. Hey, goody, I can get those evolved too. That's good. Or at least they feel backwards, but I'm, you know, I'll get it eventually, and then it'll make sense. And I'm not in any kind of a rush. Like, I've only really been knitting for a couple of years at this point. Well, not even that long. Which is nothing compared to the amount of time that, for example, you, Danny, have been knitting and making things. You know. As a wise person said once upon a time, the first step to being kind of good at something is to suck at it. And I'm embracing that more and more going into 2024, where it's like, yeah, I'm not good at a thing, but I want to be good at a thing. So I'm going to keep working at it. Because, you know, it is easy for my perfectionist brain to be like, I'm not good at it, so I'm going to never do it again. It's very easy for my brain to do that. I'm trying to stop that because I want to do the things. No, it's true. I cannot picture things, or if I can, it's a very like dim. The way that I do, so I have aphasia. Is that how it's pronounced? Where basically I can't picture things. Or the way that I describe it when I can picture things is it's either like flashes of a picture, or it's a watercolor painted on a window with the light shining through it. I have such a hard time actually picturing anything. It's rough. So we do what we can. I figure things out as I go. It just means that in the visual sphere of things, I have to work a little bit harder. And that's fine. There is nothing wrong with that. It's part of why I don't like theater of the mind gaming, though, because, oh boy, do I have a hard time theater of the mind in it, which is going to be interesting for the D&D game I'm running tomorrow, because the map that they're going into is just too big to actually, like, build on the table. So I'm going to have a map behind the screen for me to track where they're going and where they've been. Let's do some more clock. And then just like build out rooms where there's big fights that are going to happen. Uh-oh. I might be in trouble. Oh, maybe not. We'll see. There we go. Find some floor chicken. That solves all ills, right? Brains really are wild. I think in words. I think in speeches, specifically, which is very interesting. It's one of the reasons why if you are able to get me going in character in a TTRPG, it is very easy for me to go into a dramatic, heartfelt speech. But a little bit more difficult maybe for me to explain, well, this is what my magic looks like, because it's like, I don't know, what's this character's deal? Twilight? Cool, everything looks like stars, and a dome of darkness around her. Cool, that makes it easier. But words? All day long. Super easy for me. I also have discovered that I learn much better from doing things. And seeing them, because I can't, it's so bizarre. I can't read a how-to guide and picture where I'm supposed to go and click the menu, for example. But if I'm watching a video and I can pause and follow along, it's a lot easier for me to be like, okay, in, Audacity, for example, I can go into this menu and click this thing, and that is how I do what I want to do. I don't know why that's the case. I mean, I kind of do. That's just kind of how my brain works, but... I'm now at the point where I can just kind of stand still and let everything come to me. Especially because the glass fandango... there we go. Does the stab all around you if you're not moving. Nope, spilled. Dang it. Vicious hunger. Very cat. Turning things into gold, though, is a little bit less cat. Wish they could. It would make scooping their litter box a lot more entertaining. Grazie, Martin. That's actually a really hard weapon to start with, the cats, because they don't. It's kind of hard to gauge when they're gonna come back with the stuff that you need. So leveling up at the beginning with them is very difficult. Good old floor chicken. Sherlock, if you knock my tea over, we're going to have words. Yep, that was a cattail that just went past the camera. Betty, you make a much better door than window. Yeah. There we go. Thank you. I have apparently not been paying enough attention to him. Never mind the fact that, so he usually comes and cuddles with me at night. He hasn't been the last couple of nights. And then he gets really upset that I'm not, like, spending all of my time with him. And I'm like, my guy, the time that you are guaranteed to have my undivided attention, well, besides, me messing around on my phone, you aren't doing it. Why? Yeah, brains are wild. Just the way that we process the world. It's one of the reasons why it's like, yeah, it's... The world is what it is, right? but the way that we perceive it means that each of us have kind of our own realities. Because, like, the way that I perceive things and picture things and experience things is different than even my siblings, who are different from my parents, who are wildly different from the friends that I've made here in the Bay Area since I've moved here, and so on and so forth. Like, even growing up, my experience was wildly different than people that I met on the internet, because I was homeschooled in the backwoods of Alaska, which was, you know, my friend Matt actually asked me the other day, he was like, when you watch high school movies, because I never went to public high school, he asked, when you watch high school movies, is it ever a, like, man, I wish I could have had this? Is it, like, what is it like watching movies of an experience that it seems like everyone else has had and you haven't? It's like, that is an interesting question, because, like, in a sense, it makes me kind of grateful that I never went to public high school, because I truly think I would have been eaten alive. It was, I was a very awkward teenager. Like, I know everyone says that about themselves, but I was a very awkward teenager. I was, you know, a conservative Christian who had a really bad stutter. And it was, teenage years were not good. Let's put it that way. So if I had gone to public high school, I probably would have gotten eaten alive. But I also wonder if I wouldn't have gotten, hey, there we go. If I wouldn't have gotten a lot further in my development, because, you know, I've had to have all those experiences since, not necessarily of high school, but of, you know, the social developments that I didn't get because I didn't go to public high school. Everyone that I was around were church or my family. And that's, you know, very different. Hey. We're getting into the realm of the big. No! Dang it. Alright. I have gotten too far. Ah! Hello, cat. Sherlock is very delicately putting his paw on my leg and looking up at me with just the biggest cat eyes, where it's like, Mumther. Hey, Mac. Good to see you. Yeah, I was definitely a messed up Christian kid who came from the homeschooled side of things. I mean, you remember, we were friends when we were teenagers. The fact that we grew into being pretty cool adults, honestly, is kind of a miracle. Because I know so many of my peers from that time who weren't so lucky, who didn't turn out so well. And, like, I feel bad for them. Not in, like, a condescending kind of way, but in a, man, you know, you don't know what you don't know. And I didn't know what I didn't know. Like, jeez. What a time it is. Danny, did you go to public high school in Canada or in America? Or did you come to America when you were an adult? I'm trying to remember. I think you were an adult when you came into America. Dang it! Chewing into my tiramisu to revive. Because tiramisu, as everyone knows, has reviving powers. Yeah, we should have been way more messed up than we were. Like, we were still pretty messed up. Let's be realistic. But we were not as messed up as we could have and indeed should have been in some ways. And I think part of that is because we found online fandom at very formative times in our lives. So we started to get the idea that there was more out there. Because, while I won't directly accuse anyone of keeping us in a cult-like mentality, you know, limiting information is definitely a cult tactic, and many of our peers fell prey to that. Okay. Yeah, you were a full adult when you moved down. Right, because you met your husband. That's right, I remember that. Well, and here's the thing. I agree that we were kept in a cult-like mentality and situation, but I don't think it was necessarily consciously... Ah, dang it. I don't think it was conscious on the parts of the people who kept it. Well, at least not my parents. I can't speak for yours, obviously. But I don't think that my parents were intentionally trying to keep me in a cult. Or at least they wouldn't have thought of it that way. Certainly would have never thought of it that way. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to think about. Let me see. Here's my guy. Menya. Menya's fun. I think I'll take him into the library. Library. Let me see. I think that's exactly it, Mac. I think that our parents drank, or at least my mom. My dad just kind of stayed uninvolved. I think that they totally drank the Kool-Aid, but didn't exactly know what was in it. Which is, it's a thing, right? Let me see. Do I have Babiona? I think I do, yeah. Let's go ahead and play with Babiona. I haven't played with this character yet. Let's go for this. Let me see. Hey, Dead Boy. We're talking about, Mac and I were both raised fundamentalist Christian, and so we're talking about how that affected our growing up lives. I think that's one of the reasons, one of many reasons why I don't ever plan to have kids and why my cats are very much my children. My parents have never had cats. They can't comment on anything that I do with them. But man, if I had kids and I was trying to raise them, my mom does have a habit of trying to stick her nose where it doesn't belong. Let's put it that way. And it's easier when, you know, you're a couple thousand miles away, but even so. Let's see. I'll go with the kitties, because kitties are fun. This is an interesting weapon. So you basically create clones of yourself, and that's what the enemy wrecks themselves upon? Okay. I'm about it. I like it. Boy, speaking of the Bible, should I get the Bible to have it whir around me as a protective, as a hedge of protection? Gosh, I've been watching Reads with Rachel lately, and she was also raised fundy, and she was talking about like some of the terminology, and I was just like, yep, nope, I remember all of this, every single bit. Buddy, no. Sure. It's fun to have at least something that is directly, yep. Put on the full armor of God. Yep. Or pleading the blood. That was a fun one. Gosh. Maybe one of these days I'll go back and watch the Commander Kelly and the Super Kid movies, because that was very formative as a kid, but I also, like, I could still... You know how I don't have a visual memory? I can still watch some of those movies behind my eyelids. That's how many times I watched them. That was nuts. Meow. Good kitties. Yeah, and I do want to very firmly emphasize, hate to use the term, but it is kind of true. Not all Christians. I was raised in a very specifically fundamentalist environment that was not particularly good, and it took me a long time to figure out what, I don't know, what how do I put this? What truth was, to an extent. Because I had been raised believing that I knew what the truth was. I knew exactly what the truth was. It was all in the Bible, obviously. And then I started coming up against things of the world and actually like experiencing the world outside of the church and going, wait, but these people who I've been told are bad all this time, queer people, or people who have polyamorous relationships, or like, they're pretty cool. I'm spending time around them and they're good people and I like them and they're helping me even when I'm kind of a dick to them. Like, the fact that anyone who knew me in my, like, 18 to 23 years old is still friends with me is an incredible blessing. And I don't undersell that at all. Well, you know, I thought I was going to talk about all of this, like, fundy Christianity stuff when because one of the things that I'm planning to do, and, Mac, I don't know if this was ever part of your childhood, I'm planning to play through, like, the Wisdom Tree games that I played as a kid. So, like, the Spiritual Warfare and the Noah's Ark and all of those sorts of games, because those were my first gaming experiences, and, oh boy, I kind of want to go back and look at them, because I'm interested, but I'm also a little nervous about that. Did you play those games, Mac? I never asked you that, I don't think. But I found them recently, or at least some of them, on Steam. Like, they're still available. And I was just like, this is nuts. I can't believe this still exists. Although, I mean, somewhere there is a preservation effort for anything that you care to name. Which is good. I do believe that, you know, art and creations should be preserved. I think that's important. But yeah, I'm interested to see how it is when I go back and play those and just be like, hi, so I'm gonna play these games. Oh wow, even the Christian video games were considered a sin. That's intense. I mean, one of the churches that I used to spend a lot of time in, yeah, it's so much cringe. One of the churches that I used to spend a lot of time in because it was where, so we had a church that we went to as like our primary church. And then we had another church that we went to for like prayer groups and stuff. Kitties, please stop scratching me. It's not fun. They actually had whichever system the Sonic games were on back on the day. Wow. Man, you were raised slightly more fundamentalist than I was. Because, I mean, playing outside as well. I mean, I also grew up in the backwoods of Alaska. There was nowhere else to play but outside. Yeah, that's intense. Also, if you don't want to talk about any of this stuff, Mac, you don't have to. Because I know that it's a lot. It's a lot to talk about and think about. Yeah, what's interesting about all of this, Dead Boy, is that it's a whole other language, right? It's its own subculture that has its own language that if you're not part of the in-group, you don't necessarily know what's going on. You don't know what's being talked about. And you know, it's part of how you create the persecution mentality, I guess. Because, like, if you're trying to express yourself, but, you know, no one understands you, well, clearly that means you're persecuted, right? That's just how it works. So, you know, you're taught this whole other language, and you're not even aware that you're being taught it because it's the language. You're bilingual in fundy talk. Yeah. Persecution and discrimination were really big in the corners of fundamentalism that And it was subtle, too. Like, I was never directly told, you know, being queer is evil. I was just always directed to the Bible passages that talked about that, you know, when taken in their particular out of context, out of the historical context they were written in, because that's a fundy favorite, is taking things out of context or taking things as, well, we should do this even though we adhere to nothing else in the verses directly around it. Sure, that makes sense. I do love the Shadow Mirage. It's pretty great. It's a fun weapon. They come and they wreck themselves on it. I think that that's a good point, Mac, is that a lot of the people who made it out were the ones who never really felt in. Because, like, one of the things that I have talked about before on, like, my Facebook is that I mean, like any kid, right? I wanted to be special. And the way to be special in the church was to have a gift or a calling. And I tried every direction to use the things that I was good at or I liked. And it never worked out for me. I could never be good enough. And it took, because I never really fit, I found other places to fit, which was first online fandom, and then moving into spaces like the theater. Moving into spaces like the theater and the Society for Creative Anachronisms. Man, I'm honestly kind of jealous, Dead Boy, to be perfectly honest. I wish that I had had a pastor who was like that. Okay, hi, Sherlock. Hello. We're taking a quick cat break. Ugh. Hello, sir. Hello. You are a fluffy boy who is covered in cat fur, and I love you, and you are very much in the way right now, sir. Very much in the way. Mwah. All right. Well, and the fun thing, Dead Boy, Ren is not a part of my legal name. So that is not something that I was ever called until I chose that name. So, I wasn't called, I chose. And that's different. It's kind of like Granny Weatherwax says in the Terry Pratchett books, I wasn't chosen, I chose. And I think that's important for those of us who didn't fit anywhere. I think that if I had, you know, if the church that I was in had supported more of what I did, if they had supported me in my theatrical endeavors, if they had supported me more in writing, in creating, in being a fan, and like making my own creative things, honestly, I would still probably be there. I would have never started looking elsewhere for that kind of acceptance. So it's, I guess there was something good to not fitting, to not belonging. As hard as it was at the time, as difficult as my teenage years absolutely were. Because my teenage years was when I really started recognizing that I didn't fit. And that was hard. It's hard to not belong in the only place that you know. That's a fair point, Dead Boy. A lot of people are still getting used to the name. But it's good. It's cool. I like seeing it be used more frequently. It makes me happy. It's nice to be called the thing that I call myself, that I chose for myself. It's a small thing, and you know, my mom will never call me that because she gave me the name Tiana, and she doesn't listen to the fact that it doesn't fit anymore. And that is as it is. So much awkward writing as teenagers. I wish I still had some of that because I think that there were germs of good ideas in there. You know, that came out through the awkward teenage writing, but it was so awkward. We were so baby. Oh my gosh. But you know, you have to kind of suck at something in order to get kind of good at it, which is an important thing to remember. You still have... Mac, you have to send it to me. I want to see that again. That is insane that you still have that. I am delighted. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I still have the stuff that's... I mean, of course it's cringy. We were 16. If you know my old fanfiction.net account, which I will not be sharing, that's where my fanfiction that I actually published still lives. I haven't taken it down. I thought about it a couple times, but it was like, you know, people still read it now and again. I still get comments on it now and again. And I think it's important to leave it up as kind of a time capsule. Oh my gosh, you have all of that? Legit, I will send you a thumb drive if you're willing to copy that over and send that to me, because that is incredible. What a time capsule to have of us being children. That's incredible. Yeah, I switched over to AO3 too. It's easier to search. It's easier to publish on in a lot of ways. I mean, not that I do much publishing, but, you know, when I want to, it's nice to have that resource. And I read a ton of other fan fiction on there, including some stuff that Danny has published. Because AO3 is great. It is so much. We wrote for years together. There is absolutely no way that you could send that via email. But yeah, no, message me off platform. I will absolutely send you a flash drive to put that all onto, because oh my gosh, I want to see that. Not least because I think there's probably the germs of some really good ideas in there that we could expand on if we wanted to. You know, in our copious amounts of free time, you as a mom, me as a freelancer. But, you know. Oh, that's a good point. I am looking at coming down to Phoenix, hopefully fairly soon. I have a bunch of friends down there and a project that I want to get some more voices on outside of my area of the Bay. My area of the Bay Area. Yeah, like you do. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Because, I mean, it's been forever since I've seen you, so. Getting to hang out in person is also an A+ idea. Yeah, that's fair, Mac. It's been a time. It's been a time for you. You, your toddler, and all of the animals that you share space with. So one of the problems with having the cat weapon is that they hurt you when they come back. And sometimes they hurt you to the point where it's like, no! Okay, fine. Be like that. Let me see. Let me see. Is there anything that I can do to power up? I have so much money. Just so much money. Oh, hey. I can do more banishing. Why not? I have just so much money. Oh, really? I mean, I am all about filing serial numbers off of stories. So I'm all about filing serial numbers off and telling a different story. So we should talk about that. I think that'd be fun. There, spent like 200,000 coins all at once. Let me see. I have to evolve the Mirage Robe. With Mania. Megalo. Ooh. Geez, 100,000. Okay. Okay, okay. I see you. Saratu. And with Kappa. Oh, this is the question mark one. My friend Adam mentioned this. I don't have enough money to buy it right now. But I will keep that in mind. Let's send you to the library, my friend. Oops. Crud. That was a mistake. Whoopsies. Start you. Okay. Into the library. There is something to be said for, like, I know people who live in stop it. Stop it. I know people who live in, like, houseboats. And the cool thing about that is, like, as long as you can find a safe harbor, you can be wherever you want to be. I think there's something very freeing about that. Kind of the open road mentality, although that might be because I was raised on Little House in the Prairie books. So, you know, the concept of just packing everything up into a covered wagon and taking off into the wild blue yonder is very appealing. For those who came in a little bit later, I am currently drinking Tamir chai. Tamire comes from the St. Pete by Night folks through Adagio. St. Pete by Night is a Vampire the Masquerade stream that my friend Bomb Clancy is a part of. And she sent me some of the chai because she knows how much I like it, how much I like chai, and now I'm addicted. You know, like you do. Let's do some Rune Tracer. I like the chaos of having things just bounce around. This is a weird library, too. River would feel right at home, as long as he had someone to keep him safe while he's perusing the miles of books. Because this corridor is basically endless of books. And I mean, look at that. Those are not well organized. They are not well shelved. But I'll bet you there's a lot of cool stuff hidden in those nooks and crannies. Do love a good library. There we go. Start getting some synergy going in these. I am not a planning kind of gamer. I never have been, really. My friend Adam and I were... Ooh, hello. My friend Adam and I were talking about this I kind of I kind of accidentally build really powerful D&D characters by just being like, what am I missing right now whenever I do a level up? And just, I'm interested in all kinds of things. Whee! I do enjoy it when the old man gets his sudden, like, power boost. Because he can just do this. Zip around, smashing into everything. While hovering on his little cloud in the middle of the library. I mean, in fairness, stairs are kind of the devil. Hello, Ezra. Hello, internet friend. It is good to have you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm playing Vampire Survivors, which is a dumb, fun little game. I can just run around and hit things and chat with people, and it's great. I love the kitty emote. Is that Lucy? Did you get that for your channel? Because that is pretty great. For those who don't know, Ezra is a friend of mine. I play Call of Cthulhu that he runs over on Q&C on Saturday nights. We had a very good session last night. And he also is a streamer. He plays a baseball game that I don't follow baseball at all, but he makes it interesting when I come in and lurk. When I come in and lurk in his streams. Adorable Widge. We love a babe. I don't have the cat weapon up this time. But one of the weapons in this game that you can get is just a pack of cats that run around slashing things up and bring drops back to you. It's great. And sometimes they injure you when they come back. And that's somehow even funnier. I have started Baldur's Gate 3. I'm currently partway through Act 1 of my very first run. I haven't put a lot of time into it. I really should pick it up again. It's been a while. Let's get these things going faster. I'm enjoying it a lot. I enjoyed it a lot more once I stopped thinking of it as D&D and started thinking of it more as a like Dragon Age BioWare kind of game where you go around and just touch everything and talk to everyone, and that's how you get the best story. There was definitely a night of high frustration with it. Because I was like, I don't understand, and I feel like I'm missing the story, and I'm really frustrated. But once I got into the mentality of, no, just talk to everyone, touch everything, and don't worry too much about getting the right story, because you'll never get the right story. You're only going to get the story that you do. Which is a very different way of thinking about it, and really more in line with D&D anyway, because there is no such thing as the right story. There's just the story that you're telling, whatever that might be. I love Dragon Age as well. Mac, I've actually started playing it. I don't remember if you saw. I'm tired, and it's been 2 days since then. But yeah, I love Dragon Age. It was like the game that really got me into being a gamer as opposed to being someone who occasionally plays games. Dragon Age is excellent. Such a good game. I'm hoping to play... This week is kind of weird because I'm actually like working a gig. Which is nice for money purposes, but not so great for when I want to stream. Like, come on. So my streaming schedule this week is gonna be a little bit sparse, probably, but I'm hoping to get some more time into Dragon Age Origins now that I think I figured out what the bug was. Now that I think I figured out what the bug was that kept kicking me out of the game. Ugh. I actually have had a really... Hi, Night Owl. I've actually had a really hard time with Dragon Age Inquisitions. I think because it's just so different than the rest of the Dragon Age games that it's much more open world, and I have never gotten on with games like Skyrim and other open world games. But boy, have I identified hard with the Grey Wardens. That was actually one of the few things that I have ever written fan fiction about as far as like a game goes. I wrote fan fiction for that and had a grand time. That's still over on my fanfic.net account, if that tells you how long ago it was, because it has not made the transition over to AO3, and may never at this point, because like one of them was a song fic, as cringe as that is. I mean, the rest of them were, I think, kind of interesting because I wanted to explore, you know, what the Kuzlin child was experiencing and how they dealt with things on the way. Whee! On the way to Ostagar after losing their entire family in one day. Because, boy, that's not something that the video game really explores. Hi, kid, you just lost your entire family in one day and then about a week later became a warden. Welcome to the rest of your life. But, I mean, video games in general do a really bad job of exploring trauma and being like, hi, this is a person that is in the midst of all of this, and yeah, that's kind of rough. That's kind of rough. Yeah, that makes sense, Mac. I have tried Skyrim. I've tried starting Skyrim like 4 or 5 times, and every time I'm just over... When I can do everything, I do nothing. The fact that I've stuck with Baldur's Gate 3 as long as I have is kind of a miracle, and I think it's because there's so much of D&D in it. That is very standard, Ezra. There are a lot of people who just download it and they're like, nah, fam. See, I really liked Dragon Age 2. I felt like it didn't outstay its welcome. It told the story that it needed to tell, and then it was done and led you into what was going on next. And oh my gosh, whenever I get into that game, I have an Anders tea, because while he is objectively kind of awful in a lot of ways, I can't help but feel bad for the broken boy. Like, I love him. He's such a delight. Not my favorite one to romance, though. That's Fenris. Because, yeah. We'll just leave that out alone. Just set it off in the corner. All right. What's so interesting about, and I'm sure people have heard this particular comment before, Zelda Breath of the Wild and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom are actually much more like what the original Zelda games were like, because they were very open world and exploratory, and there wasn't like that strong progression path, because like in the normal Zelda games, you know, you go to one dungeon and you get the item that will help you get into the next dungeon, and there's a very clear progression. The original one wasn't like that, and the current games aren't like that. I feel like they're going back to that more to let it feel more like a breathing world. The problem with that, in my opinion, is that it's harder to tell a cohesive story when you don't know where they might go next. Because, like, if you have a person directing it, like with a Dungeons & Dragons game, if you have that, you know, the storyteller can adjust the experience, but a program can't really do that. You know, the limits of the programming world. Goodness gracious. Okay. Yeah, I think I've romanced every character at least once. And in Dragon Age Origins, you can get several birds with one stone, especially if you, God, what was that? What was the brothel called? Something Pearl? I don't remember what that's called, but that was fun. Really, one of my favorite things about the Dragon Age games, besides Alistair, who is my one true romance, is seeing how Leliana, she's in all of the games, even if only briefly in 2, and watching how she changes and progresses from the wide-eyed innocent to the jaded, cynical girl that woman that she becomes in Inquisition is just fascinating to me. Because, man, I know that path. I know that path so well, and I feel for her. Like, when you lose your faith, when that certainty is gone, man, that's rough. Liliana is, yeah. Liliana is, like, Alistair is who I romance, but Liliana is who I am, especially over the course of the 3 games. And my brother's actually naming his daughter Liliana, and he's never played the Dragon Age games. I find that hilarious. Ooh, evolved. We have evolved and moved forward into no future. You know, as you do. Yeah, I understand the feeling of, you know, everything getting stuck into a blender. That's part of why I've never really played the Skyrim games, because the thing I always hear from Skyrim is how everyone wants to tell their story and all of that, and I'm just like, but what's the story that the creator wanted to tell? Like, it's not really here. What is that? What is the story? And yeah, there's 5,000 different ways that you can move through the story and tell it, but it's like, I guess it's fun to create your own fun and your own story in that, but that shouldn't be the job of the player, you know? Unless you're doing something that is actually truly collaborative, like D&D or other tabletop role-playing games. Oh my god, it is killing me to have to leave this many pieces of experience behind. But like, I'm killing things... Here's a sentence you never thought you'd hear. I'm killing things too fast, I can't keep up with all the XP. Ooh. Gold, 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 gold. That's fun. Not having a buff slot available to get the thing that allows you to like draw in more of the XP is killing me. And that's fair. I think the Fallout games are pretty good about that. It's just I'm not good at shooters and I have no particular interest in starting one. The only shooter that I've ever really glommed onto was BioShock because, oh, holy crap, what a game that is. Yeah, I was, here we go. I was watching some of H Bomber Guy's videos about things about games like New Vegas and the other Fallout games and which ones he considers to be good. Fascinating take, especially from like a design perspective. So, yeah. It's interesting. I think I like the theory of video games more than I like actually playing video games a lot of the time. Part of why I like the Theorist channels so much, but also we'll watch like Design Delve that Jamate does over on Second Wind. And other like talking about how design works and all of those sorts of corners. I find those fascinating, even though I don't play a whole lot of games. Because like I've been following Yahtzee Croshaw for like a decade and a half at this point, and I haven't played 100th of the games that he's talked about. And I'm not exaggerating. He has, you know, played 50-ish games a year. What is flashing? Why are you flashing? He's played 50-ish games a year for like 16 years. There is absolutely no way that I'm going to play all of those games because, you know, he plays them because it's his job. And I'm playing as a consumer. I mean, so many games are in development hell. It's rough. Like I'm hopeful for Dragon Age Dreadwolf, but I'm not holding my breath. Either that it will ever get released, or that it will be worth playing once it gets released. Because, man, EA may not be the worst company in the world, but it is not a good one for generalized storytelling, especially now, where it's just like, come on, just... why? Why are we doing this? I'm a little jealous of him too, because like he knows, he's played so many games that he knows exactly what he likes, and there's a lot to be said for that, and I wish I could do that, but also I don't think he gets the time to really enjoy any of the games and before he has to move on to the next one. And I think that's kind of sad. Like, I'd rather be able to enjoy the game, you know? Whee! I really should put like a flash warning on these games because they are very flashy. They say it at the top of the screen where it's like, hi, if you have epilepsy, don't play this. This is gonna trigger you like crazy. But I should put it into my stream too, just to make sure that people are aware. I was so careful about choosing the music for this, and then you can't hear it over how fast I'm getting XP. Oops. Alright, so one of the things that I'm supposed to do with this character is kill 100,000 enemies in order to get something. I don't know if I'm gonna make it on this run, but now that I've just located where the enemy counter is, it's up here in the corner. Maybe I will. That'd be cool. I want to unlock more characters because it's fun. You know, more characters that I will barely play. But you know, if I keep doing these Survivors Sunday and play a bunch of different characters, who knows? Maybe I'll actually, like, play through all of them. That's the real reason why I've started streaming, to be perfectly honest, because if I have it in my head that this is a work thing that I do, I'm more likely to do it, and that means I'm more likely to, you know, play the games that I have in my Steam library. No, I'm at 35,000 kilt so far, which means I need to get another 65,000. We'll see if I make it in the next 11 and a half minutes. Because I think at this point I've gotten to the point where until they send like really big harder waves against me, I can pretty much mop the floor with anything that comes near me. I've got 3 fully evolved weapons, and the other 3 are just like really big and swishy around me. So we'll see. I do like this game though because it doesn't require a lot of thought. I can just run around stabbing things. There is a certain level of like strategy to it, but also a lot of it is the roll of the dice of which power-ups you get when you level up. And that's just the way that that works out. So, you know, other people will talk about getting all the strategies and stuff, and I'm just over here like, I like running around and killing things. It's fun. I'm just gonna stand still for a minute. You know, you've got the best collection of power-ups when you can just stand still in one spot and watch all the wave of enemies just getting massacred on their way in. I wish I had the attractor orb. That would make my life so much easier. With collecting all of this XP. So much XP! Yeah, having it on the Switch gives you more, like, space to see what it's doing, especially if you play on, like, a bigger screen. I don't play this game on my phone. It was given to me on the computer, so that was a big factor for why I started on the computer. But also, I just really like having the bigger screen to make sense of what's going on. Because it's so much going on that it's hard to keep track sometimes. Whee! It's almost zen in a weird way, just running around smashing things. All right, 42,000. Ooh, come here. I'll probably make it up to level 100 before the Reaper comes forming, but might not make it to the 100,000 enemy mark, which, that is as it is. Definitely going to make a point of getting the attractor next time. Yeah, having stuff on YouTube does make it a lot easier to have it on the big screen, because like Twitch does have an app that you can get, that you can put it on the big screen, but it's harder to access and it's harder to sign into, in my opinion, because YouTube has a nice like scan your QR code and then you can sign in from there, and I've done that in like hotel on hotel televisions before when I'm, you know, somewhere else working and I want to watch stuff while I'm winding down, but I don't want to do it on my computer or whatever. So I get that. Having things on a big screen is really helpful, and then YouTube making it easy to put up on the big screen is even better, because man, Twitch is great in a lot of ways and Twitch is a lot of fun. That's why I've chosen to do my solo streaming here, at least for the time being. But it definitely is a lot more challenging in very specific ways. Just wade into this mess. Yeah, I'm not going to make it to 100,000. I'm just approaching 50,000 with 4 minutes left. There's got to be a way to do it, though. Like, there wouldn't be a character locked behind that ability if it wasn't doable. I wonder if I'll be able to freeze the Reaper when they show up. I'm moving over in this direction partially to have like a goal, but also because there's a book over in this direction. And you know, when you're in a library, you gotta go after the books, right? That's part of the charm. Whee! So one of the things with the YouTube Live is that you can go to the live link and then just hang out there. If you're on the link when it starts, you'll be there. You go straight into the live video, so you don't have to do like the refresh or anything. if you're hanging out on this thing will go live in X number of minutes. If you hang out there, it should kick you straight over into the live stream once it actually goes live. And if it doesn't, that's something that we need to know about, because that's something we're kind of counting on. But yeah, Twitch is really good about giving notifications. Ooh, hello, book. Yes. Twitch is really good about giving notifications for when things go live. Like, I have them pop up on my phone all the time for channels that I follow. And it's a little bit less good with YouTube. Like, my YouTube will tell me when Q&C is live, for example, because I have the notification on. And because I have the notification on, it tells me. So if you go to the live page and you click on notify me, it should send you a notification when it's live, whether that's on your phone or your computer. For me, it sends me an email. For me, it sends me an email and it sends me an alert on my phone to let me know Q&C is live. This is so messy. All of these numbers flying around and just so much stuff. I love it. It's such a glorious disaster. Alright, 20 seconds. Let's see how long I can survive the Reaper with my various freezing abilities. Because I've heard that freezing is the easiest way to keep the Reaper at bay. We'll see. Oh. No. I'm going to keep reviving. Because I think that's funny. Dang you, Reaper! Drat you! I think it does just like one slash and you're dead. All right. I mean, fair point, Mac. Fair point. Love it. All right, I'm going to take a quick bio break. I will be back shortly. Yeah, hang out, chat amongst yourselves. All right, folks, and we are back with Vampire Survivors. Hope y'all enjoy the music that I found for this, for the breaks and everything. I found that from a YouTube creator that I really like, Give Heart Media. They have a playlist of DMCA safe lo-fi beats that are based on music that they've put out before. I find myself like singing along to the words of it just because I know the songs. It's funny to me. Also, I just want to underline how funny it is at the top of the unlocks that I haven't done yet is find the yellow sign. This amuses me tremendously. Yeah. Good old King in yellow. See, I don't think of myself as a bard. I am, as has been pointed out, very much a charisma caster, but I'm much more the paladin. who is also a charisma caster. And there's nothing to say that a paladin can't also have musical proficiency. Why not? It's fun. Really? I took this guy through Whiteout? Okay. Don't remember that. Do I have the coinage? I do not have the coinage yet to buy random. Okay. So let's do something else. Let me see. You are based on the collection 1.0. You know, just for fun, I'm going to do Mortaccio. He has a bouncing bone. That's his weapon, is a bouncing bone. Why not? Let me see. Dun, 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 dun. There you are. Also, I'm gonna change some of these up, turn the music up a titch. Just a titch, and the sounds down a titch, just because they are pretty noisy. Let's turn off the flashing VFX, because that's hard on the eyes. It's hard on my eyes, and I don't have epilepsy or anything like that. It's still hard on my eyes. A skeleton with a halo who throws bones at people. I want to know the lore behind this guy. He's something else. Alright. What do we want to focus on? Casters are interesting. If you want to have the more limited version of a caster, I recommend like a bard or a sorcerer, because you learn all of your spells. So you don't have the thing that wizards and druids and clerics and paladins all have, where you can trade out your spells every long rest. It takes away an element of you have to make decisions. Yeah, let's go with Ebony Wings. Why not? Hello. So that might be a good place to start as a caster. My first character that I played in 5e was a bard. Ardora Grearis, the child born on the wrong side of the sheets of the realm's princess. She was fun. Had a chip on her shoulder the size of Madagascar. So when you banish a weapon, as the name implies, you get rid of it permanently for that run, which means that I have a better chance of getting the weapons that I actually want. For this one, I want to get the other bird so that I can get them evolved together. Because there are some weapons that you have to get both of the weapons and then get them both fully evolved in order to... in order to evolve it into its final form, but then it smooshes the two together into one, and then you have space for another weapon, which is great. The sword. Song of Mana is an interesting one, but I'm not gonna do it this run. I banish thee, I banish thee, I banish thee. What's the fun of doing these sorts of things if you don't get dramatic? I was talking to a friend of mine today, who her cat's name is Crumpet, and I asked if she ever, good, yes, thank you, if she ever calls him by his full, very British name when he's being particularly cat. She's like, no, I never have, but now I'm going to, because that's funny. I like doing that sometimes with Sherlock, where it's like, Mr. Holmes, Why exactly are you doing this at this very moment, sir? Because over-exaggerated British exclamations are fun. I get it. Walter Tobias III. What an excellent name. Yeah, a bad GM really does flavor how you feel about a character overall. Like, I've had characters that I was very excited to play, and then I had either not a good GM or a bad group that they were in. And it just colored my opinion of that character from then on out. Like, there are characters that I love the idea of, but will never go back to because of that. And it's unfortunate. Cool. And yes, you do see correctly. It is called Santa Walter. Santa Water. As opposed to Holy Water or... Oh. Wally or Wallet. That's great. Oh, I forgot to set my phone up so that I can actually see what's going on in the stream. There we go. I can see the chat, but I can't see all the other... I couldn't see all the other stuff without my phone up. Walter Tobias III, sir. Nope, my voice is still a little bit strained from doing the voice of the very proper British butler last night, sir. It is rather difficult to maintain that voice for very long, and so I'm going to stop because, ow. When you're maintaining the same voice for like 3 hours at a go, it's a challenge. The real mistake that I made was with Alexandria right after she had a thing where she lost her voice for reasons. And I was talking in kind of a rasp a lot of the time, which is shockingly hard on your vocal cords because you have to kind of have the vocal fry all of the time. We are not speaking about Francois, sir. I actually don't know where Francois is. We have like we have moved things around in the studio so many times since then that I have no idea where anything is. He's probably buried in the back corner of the storage room, awaiting his day to arise and turn us all into vampires. Or Katasiri in the what do I want to do? I want to do that. I like the shtick of Mortaccio. I don't know if I like Mortaccio himself as a character in here. Although that may be because I haven't had very good draws for what I want, so it's just not terribly interesting. We'll see. We'll see how I feel as we go deeper in. Nah. Ooh, I managed to close the mantis outside of the little circle. That's funny. Queen Nimrafel? Nimrafel? Is that how you pronounce that? Yay! A 5 level up chest. We love these. Nim. Nim is a good name. Nimrafel. Nimrafel. Okay, there it is. Of Nimington Estates. I love a good, barely pronounceable name. It makes me so happy. Because fantasy is just rife with those, and it's so much fun. Especially when you pronounce things a certain way for a long time, and then you find out that you're incorrect. Usually when you get the audiobook and go, wait, what? Yeah, my cats don't have very fancy names. It's Sherlock and John and Billy. John named with the Jawn because that's what Benedict Cumberbatch pronouncing John looks like when it's written out. Because I'm a nerd and a fangirl. Although anyone who's surprised that I'm a nerd has not been paying attention. Tall. I do appreciate, though, that the skeleton kind of looks like he's stalking through everything. Just, like, glaring head forward, arms back, just, I'm just gonna stomp my way through all these blah, 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 blah. Just the grumpiest. Actually reminds me a lot of Rudy in that aspect. I know. Shocker, right? I'm a nerd. It's great. And there must be one hell of a delay. Andromeda. I can see that, though. I can see why that would happen. Because if you don't see it, it doesn't look like it should be Andromeda. With the short E. Yeah, names are fascinating. Because, like, Dan's last name, for example, Vashkevich, is how it's pronounced. If you saw it, you wouldn't pronounce it that way. Not a chance. No one does. But that's how he pronounces it. But it's also not how other members of his family pronounces the same name. Because he going back to the more Polish pronunciation as opposed to the Americanized version. Ooh. I want the knife, but I'm not going to get the knife yet. See, I'm just gonna go ahead and banish the magic wand because I can. I want the bird. Give me the bird. I have seen some of the Polish lessons going on in the Discord. I find it both hilarious and fascinating. All right, Mac, give your toddler a squish for me. I'll chat at you later. We'll figure out. I'm gonna head that direction sometime this year, I think. I hope, so we can talk more about me coming and staying with you. Love you bunches. Take care of yourself. Yeah, Polish is one of those languages that I feel like I should have a better handle on. Because I took Russian for years. Not that I'm any good at Russian, but I feel like I should at least have a better handle on it, and then I'll get Polish and just laugh. Because, no. Not a chance. Not a chance in any of the hells. Ah! Come to me, my pretties. No. I'm going to banish. Get out of here. I want the bird. Give me the white bird. There we go. Get some healing up in this joint. I should actually do things like figure out a stream schedule at some point. But the problem is that I don't know what things are going to look like week to week. So trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. Because like, I'm going into the clinic for an appointment tomorrow during the day. But I could probably play a bit. I could probably do stuff during the afternoon. But I really do need to like go to the studio and get ready to run a live stream there for D&D. So I'm probably not going to end up streaming tomorrow. Tuesday I have a gig, and then I think I have a home game, depending on how things go with that. So, like, the next time that I may be able to stream is probably Wednesday night. And even that I can't guarantee because I'm going to be working during the day. So I may be just absolutely exhausted and or, well, I work Tuesday, Wednesday, so I don't work Thursday. Oh, I'm fine. I'm part of a medical trial for Pfizer to look at doing the COVID shot and the flu shot together. So I'm going in to get a blood draw to see what my antibody levels are at, because it's been a month since I got that shot done. So they're testing for that, and then I won't need to go back in until the 6-month mark when they do another blood draw, and then I'll be done with the medical trial. I like to do medical trials when I can because I'm a very healthy individual in general, and I like being able to help, and volunteering my body to science while I'm still alive is a pretty great way to do that. Why are some of these things green? Interesting. But yeah, I've been doing medical trials pretty much since I came to the Bay Area. The first one was with an HIV, an HIV clinic and research facility here in San Francisco for something they were looking at doing with PrEP. Yes, it's the white bird! I got the white bird, finally! And now what they were doing the medical trials for is pretty standard practice in that side of things. So, you know, I got to be part of that, which I think was really cool. I mean, you don't necessarily have to get them both done at the same time. It's just one of those things where it's like, look, if you're going to be miserable for several days anyway, you might as well just have it all done at once. I was looking actually at the study paperwork the other day because I was cleaning off my desk, and it looks like, depending on which group I'm in, I definitely got the COVID shot, but I may or may not have gotten a flu shot at the same time. And I think I'm not sure because I won't know until after the study is done which group I'm in, but I don't think I did. Because that arm didn't hurt at all. That arm never hurt. And I usually have some kind of reaction to a flu shot. So I think I may have actually gotten the placebo on that one. Definitely got the COVID shot. Because, boy, I was miserable for days afterwards with that. And that arm hurt so badly. I couldn't even raise it up to, like, the level of my ear. But I'm pretty sure that I have not gotten the flu shot. We'll see. I won't be able to know until after the trial is over in, like, 5 months. But that's a cool thing, right? Like, I can keep track of that sort of thing with a diary. And, yeah. I love medical trials. I think they're so fascinating. And getting to be part of the advance of medical science is just so cool to me. So, yeah. Nerd out over that sort of thing. I'm going to get the cursed item because we like cursed items around here. Why not? I say that like my character Isolde hasn't given withering looks to people for them wanting to hang on to the cursed items when she can just make them go away. Having the good attractor orb makes life so much easier. I just have to be in the vicinity and then it all comes toward me. Yeah, there are people that I know in the area who got COVID really early on before we really knew what it was. And some of them still have like long COVID and all of the side effects of that. Like one of them was a dancer, and as far as I'm aware, she can barely like walk up a flight of stairs anymore. Which is just rough. I need to keep the cursor off the screen. I don't need the cursor for anything. That's what I have arrow keys for. Yeah, trying to set up a stream schedule is interesting just because of, like, my schedule is so varied as a freelancer. Like, there's gonna be days where I'm traveling. There's absolutely no way that I'm going to try streaming while I'm traveling, whether it's for work or family stuff or anything of that. Absolutely not. Not even gonna try. So, you know, consistency is where is part of the power of live streaming. But, you know, I'm doing okay, I think. Even at these early stages. Pretty happy with how things are going. Big old tough werewolf coming in this direction. Yeah, you want to mess with me with these bones, sir? You want to mess with these bones? You can't get close to me. Look at you. There we go. Honestly, the best part about still doing a bunch of my editing on my laptop is that I can take it with me everywhere. And if I have an extra like half hour somewhere, I can pop my laptop open, put my headphones on, and do some editing. My knitting project used to be that, but it has gotten too big for me to easily carry around and bring out to work on. So now that's the home project. I need another good carry-around project. Maybe I'll keep working on the hat that I've been working on for my mom. It's supposed to be a Christmas present, but, you know, Christmas comes every year, as my buddy Greg points out. Gold rush, gold rush. Free time. Free time. What is this thing, free time? I don't think I know her. I just do things all of the time, and sometimes I get paid for them. Most of the time, not. But I get paid in experience, and I am in a very fortunate position that I can live on. I am in a very fortunate situation with my living situation, so I have the freedom to do these sorts of things. There are so many redheaded writers in my life, and I play a lot of them. It's just, yeah. I have a type, okay? Both in things that I play and things that I experience. I don't know. I'm nattering. That's alright. I'm allowed to do that. This is my stream. I can do whatever I want. Ugh, when the mummies show up, it's annoying because there's a ton of the, like, bigger enemies, so I don't level up as fast. Although I certainly have a good... combination of things going on here. I like this card that I picked up. It's powerful. Slam bam, thank you, ma'am. Yes, walk into my danger aura. I really wonder what's up with the green things. They're not harder to kill necessarily. Just interesting. Oh, good. Here come the small ones again. Here, XP, XP, XP. A evolved garlic, also known as give me more aura. Look at this, I look like a freaking Vampire the Masquerade character surrounded by the red and the black. And purple, flashes of purple. I have a lot of fun narrating audiobooks. I have a couple that I should be working on. I don't like them as much. They're, let's say, difficult to read, just in general, reading them. But, you know, they pay. And in this capitalist hellscape, being able to get paid for what you do is apparently all that matters. So they tell me. I don't believe that, because I mean, I'm not getting paid to do this. I might be someday, but yeah. I'm doing it because I enjoy it. Hanging out, playing the games. Ugh. Yes. The rainbow bird. We love a good rainbow bird. Bird, 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 bird. Yeah, anyone who tries to say that, you know, money doesn't buy happiness has never been poor. Because that's bull. Like, for me, happiness is being able to pay my bills without having to check my, my account obsessively just to make sure that, you know, I'm not overdrawn or any fun things like that. Ooh. Let me see. Let's get some more healing up in this joint. Yeah, when I'm able to say at a dinner that I'm having with friends of mine, oh, don't worry, I've got this. It makes me so happy. Because, like, there have been times that I have been dead broke and other people have, like, you know, paid for a meal for me or bought me a tank of gas or something, and I want to be able to pay that forward. And, you know, sometimes I'm able to do that, and that makes me really happy. You know, it's the simple little things in life. I don't need a gold-plated toilet or anything weird like that, but I do want to be able to get the equipment that is the best for the work that I do, that I enjoy doing, and treat the people who I love. Why is that so hard? Why is that so revolutionary? Oh yeah, because we don't control the means of production. Heavy sigh. Sure, let's summon some night. I'm in favor of this. It's so fascinating to me how fast or slow different characters level up. Yeah, no, I completely understand that, Dead Boy. I'm lucky enough to be able to maintain a few Patreons because, you know, that's important to me. But there are definitely times where I look at that very hard and go, can I afford this? And it's rough. I hate having to ask that question because I want to be able to support the artists who bring me joy. So, it is what it is. Capitalist hellscape. We all have to live with it. This is why the BBEG is capitalism. Kind of creep along here. These plants are definitely a bitch kitty to deal with. It's so funny when I'm on other streams, not just Quest and Chaos, but over on Majestic Goose, I swear like a sailor. But I don't do that so much on my own stream. I've noticed myself like unconsciously not doing that, and I don't know why that is. Like, I consider swearing to be like punctuation in some cases, and yet I don't really do it on my own stream, at least not right now. Maybe at some point I'll be more comfortable with it, but I don't know. I don't have any particular moral objections to it. I'm just not doing it. It's weird. It's a weird thing to think about. You know, how we act when we're by ourselves as opposed to around other people, I guess. Not that I'm not around other people, but I can't see you. I can't hear you. I can only see your words on the screen when they pop up. At least my kitty cat is leaving me alone for the moment. He's hanging out over on my other computer chair. Yeah. And I do. I swear a lot in other places. I don't know why I don't do it so much here in my own space. I just kind of don't. It's weird. Although maybe I'll do it more in Dragon Age when it's like, no, yeah, anyone can wander into this stream because it's not age restricted. Dragon Age has rated M for, what was it? Violence, sexual content, partial nudity, and something else. I don't remember what all of them were. But I had to actually like put that on the YouTube description I mean, I didn't have to, but I did. Just to be like, no, really, kids. I understand I was also once a kid and, you know, wrote all sorts of fun things and said all sorts of fun things, but it is not my... It is my responsibility as a current adult to warn you so that you can choose what you want to engage with, I think is the big thing. I think after I finish this run, win, lose, or draw, I'm gonna call it for the day, because I'm getting a bit tired. Looking forward to when my new chair cushion arrives, because sitting here for as long as I am really hurts my butt sometimes. That is what it is, I guess. But I've got about 3 minutes, and then I'll roll us on over into hanging out and chatting for a little bit before we head out. Sound good, everyone? So in this game, the best version of a win that you're going to get is getting all the way through to the 30-minute mark and then hopefully surviving the Reaper for a little bit once he shows up. That's closest to a win I get on these things. That's a pretty good win. And I'm almost there. 2.5 minutes. Let's do this. I say, and then stride directly into danger. Got all sorts of fancy stuff going on here. So much rainbow. I don't think I'm going to even be able to level up all of my stuff by then. Which is so funny, because sometimes, like, I'm just gathering coins because that's all I can do. But this one, like, I've got so many things that still need leveled. Wham, 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 wham. Yeah, I think a rainbow horse is called a unicorn. I got a rainbow burb. What would that be? Yeah, you're right. Peacock. They don't really fly, but they certainly are the pretty rainbow birds. You right. Am I gonna finish getting this thing leveled up before the Reaper comes for me? We'll see. Yeah. All right, 15 seconds and counting. Ooh. Late breaking edition. With the fully leveled water. Five, four, three, two, one, and boom. There he is. I really do need to get the clock lancet and see if that actually helps. All the vitamins and minerals, it's true. All right. Hey, I reached level 80 with this feller. Oh, we love a good unlock. All right. Okay, don't know what that's all about. So we're going to come over here away from the game, at least for right now, in order to say thank you all so much for joining me here in the Fae realm. I hope you all have had a lovely time. I've certainly enjoyed getting to hang out with all of you. And yeah, I'm probably going to be back Wednesday evening after I finish up with work. We'll see how that goes. Silver, fire, butter, knife, holy water, and salt. That sounds about right. Or, you know, just the ability to freeze him in place so that I can stab and stab and stab and stab. We like that. That's a fun one. But yeah, I should hopefully be back Wednesday afternoon, night, whenever I get off work and make it home. It's a 45-minute drive in good traffic. We'll see how it is getting back in rush hour traffic. But until next time, thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.